The next question is, how did I train them to eat food by themselves? I think just slowly, I think the key is slowly incorporate things. I think my mom told me, she's like, you can start giving them plates and forks. So that's what I did. Oh gosh, the crayons are up here. But when I gave them forks for the first time, I was shocked to see how quick they knew what to do with it. Like, it's crazy. They just learn through what they see you doing. So I think that you'll be surprised at how quickly they'll pick it up. If they don't, do not touch that. No, June. Leave that there. They literally just test me all day long. They just point to things and stare at me. Okay, not my phone. No. No. Let's just like relax for a second. This question says, sometimes she feels like there's not enough hours in the day to give them enough attention, and makes her sad, frustrated, like she has to choose one over the other. I've kind of, there they go. I did sometimes think of it that way, like who am I holding more? But now I feel like it just all evens out. When one needs more attention, then I give her more attention, and then usually the next day it's the other one who wants a little more attention. I just think that each parent is different with all of their children. You know, you have a different relationship with all of them depending on their personality. I try not to worry about things like that because I know that... What do you want? What? To me, it's like I love them both the same, and I just don't think that... I don't know, I'm not gonna stress over like giving them equal amounts of attention because I feel like it truly just evens out. But it is funny because sometimes Violet, here she is, will be so like clingy to me that I'm like, I need to hold June. I miss June. So we try to do that, huh? Tips on traveling. I just did a blog post on road trips, so I'll link that down below. As far as flying, I don't have any tips because we flew them and they were awful. Awful. Okay, I'm back. It's been a couple hours. The girls are asleep now. I'm on my 4th juice and have a headache, and I caved and had an avocado. But anyways, let's get back to the questions. Okay, somebody asked if the girls still sleep in the sleep sacks. They do not. We took them out of those maybe like 2 months ago, I want to say. We had them in there for a really long time, but we just felt like they slept so well in them, and they just knew being zipped up meant time to go to sleep. But it got to the point where I'm like, they're getting kind of big. They don't really need to be in these anymore. So I had cut them out for naps for a while. And then one night I decided, let's just cut them out. Somebody asked if one of the girls eats more than the other. They pretty much eat the same amount. It just depends on what food is in front of them. Like Violet loves pasta. So if there's pasta, usually she will eat more. Actually, I think Violet... No, I was gonna say she eats more, but I just weighed them today and they weigh the same to the ounce. They always weigh the same to the ounce. It's so crazy. Were the girls in sync hitting their milestones? Yes, like super in sync. They rolled over on the same day. It was nuts. June walked about a week before Violet, I think. It seemed that June would hit like the physical milestones first, like walking, crawling, her teeth came in first, and then Violet would hit more of the verbal milestones first. Like, I think she was the first one to say more things, and she just seemed more verbal from the beginning. And it's funny because they've kind of remained consistent with that. June's definitely more of the physical one. She is just very coordinated and doesn't ever ask for help climbing up anything, like she just does it. Whereas Violet is more like the one to put on a show. Like she just wants to be the center of attention and is just talking nonstop all day long. Do we have any other nicknames picked out for them besides June and Violet, and how do we come up with the names? I got a lot of questions asking about our name, how we came up with the names. As far as nicknames, we call Violet Vivi occasionally. More so when she was younger. I usually call her Violet. And it's funny because I'm not one to call people nicknames very often. I usually call them by their name. But we call June Junie a lot. And she just came up with the nickname Juju. It was so funny. Like the other day she starts going, Juju, Juju. And we're like, okay, you're Juju, Juju. And so she would like, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, you don't know this, but she would play peekaboo and kept saying Juju. So I don't know, I guess she wants to be called Juju, and then Violet calls her Juju now. It's like so strange. And then as far as their names go, I have always liked old-fashioned names, and I keep a note on my phone with boy and girls names I like, and I would just kind of narrow it down. And it changed also when I found out it was gonna be 2. I wanted the names, you know, to kind of just go together, so that kind of took out a few different options. It narrowed it down to 3, and I think it was like 3 or something. And I gave those to Andrew, and I was like, which ones do you like? And he liked June and Violet. He liked Violet from the beginning because he likes really feminine names. June, I think, like, I had to kind of talk him into that. I'm like, it's so cute. You love it. And then June's middle name is Everly. I just thought it was cute with her first name, and I tricked him into that. Also, I had we came up with Violet's middle name's Noelle, and that's my middle name. And that's been passed down. That's my grandma's maiden name. It's spelled Noel, so it's technically Noel, but I just pronounce it Noelle. And then I just really liked June Everly. So I had these signs made for their bed, above their bed with their names. And this was like a couple months before they were born. And Andrew walked in, he's like, June Everly? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's her middle name. And that was that. Another question is, do you meal prep for the twins? How do you do that? I meal prep a few things. Like, I just made a bunch of sweet potatoes, so I'll just bake those in the oven, and then I have them to just dice up, or if I want to mash them, whatever. I do make pasta like once a week, just like the like white cheddar pasta shells or something. I like the Annie's brand. Trader Joe's has some, and that'll last a couple days. They don't eat all of it. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't. But a few things just like last long, or if I'll do like a little medley of like black beans, corn, and rice. And so I will make that, give them just a little bit, and then I just have it in the fridge to last for a couple days. Trader Joe's has these little yogurt smoothies, and I usually just pour one of those into their smoothie cups that I use by Contigo. Again, those are linked on my blog, but like that is a good snack for them. Oh my God, they love white cheddar puffs now, like Pirate's Booty. They're obsessed. They love veggie straws just for like an easy snack. Crackers. And somebody else asked, do you worry if they don't eat a whole lot in one day? No, I feel like it all evens out. So if they're not going to eat a ton for a meal, I just think, you know what? They're not hungry right now. And even my pediatrician said, you'll notice they go in waves, and sometimes they'll be eating a ton, and then a couple days later, they're not hungry at all. The other day, they ate like a whole thing of pasta that I made. Like, it was so much. I couldn't even believe it. And then a couple days later, they're just uninterested in food. I just think it depends on what they're going through, if they're growing a lot or whatever. So I try not to worry about that stuff. I just think, hey, it's less food for me to have to cook and clean up. What are some of the girls and my necessities when we first brought them home? Swaddles. We use swaddle blankets all the time. We used 1 million diapers and 1 million wipes. Burp cloths, like just get the white ones. They're cloth diapers from Amazon by Gerber. I would just use those all around the house. I use nipple butter by Earth Mama Angel Baby. That stuff is amazing. Honestly, in the beginning, it was just completely survival, just making sure that they were fed. So I wasn't dressing them in anything really other than their diapers, their swaddle blankets, and maybe white onesies. Oh, it was cold though, so I would put stuff on them. I had the long sleeve onesies. Just have a ton of like blankets and swaddle blankets so you can prop your babies up and wipe up, spit up like you're gonna be a mess. Just have like a lot of basic clothes you can wear, easy to nurse in. Nursing bras are great, or just like little bralettes you can pull up. I think I did a video on newborn essentials though. I'll link it down below. How do you keep everyone entertained all day long at home? In the beginning, we would have like 30 minutes on the ground, 30 minutes on our bouncers, 30 minutes over here. But now that they are running around, it's kind of like we're inside, we're outside, we go to the playroom for a little bit and we'll play with blocks, we'll play with books. Like the playroom is where I'm really playing with them. So that's where I'm trying to teach them words in their books, and I'm having them point to things and tell me what this is and what is that and what's this, what color is this, like that type of thing. So I feel like when we go in the playroom, we're doing more like trying to like teach them in there. We'll go outside a lot now. It's super hot right now, but in the morning we go outside a lot, and in the evenings they love to be outside. Like they could be outside forever. They just dig in the dirt and play with rocks in the water, and I think that's just so good for kids to be outside and just like be with nature. I feel like it's just good for your soul. So we try to do that a lot. I definitely get bored out there sometimes, but it's like, you know what? I know that this is good for them. They love being outside. And I feel like it's also good for their creativity. They just explore so much, and I just think it's really good for them. We watch some shows. I will link it down below in this video. I just type in ABC song, but they've learned so much from this song. It's nuts. I think I talked about it in the last video. Like they know everything that comes up before it actually comes. They like Little Bear. I record a couple shows. They like Little Bear. They like Mickey Mouse. They love, they like Barney. They used to love Little Baby Bum. Now I'm so sick of it. How are you handling separation anxiety? My twins currently have experienced separation anxiety at 17 to 18 months. I'm having a hard time leaving them at the church nursery. It's so strange. Like I feel like after I had the girls, you feel like ownership of them. I'm sure if you guys have kids, you feel the same way. Like you feel so protective of them, and you don't want to leave them because they're yours. You know, it's like a weird thing, and I never ever thought I would really feel like that. I've definitely become more of a control freak after having them too. I don't know if it would be different if I just had one. I think having maybe twins especially has made me like really want to control everything, because I know that when they're in their routine that they're gonna be better. You know, they're gonna be in a better mood. It's hard because, you know, you don't want to leave them, but I also know that they need to be left sometimes, like, because I am with them every day, all day long. So I think that they've really gotten attached to me, and they're just like super dependent on me. That's why I'm trying to get them to go to our church nursery, because I think it's so good for them to be able to socialize with their kids and not be with me all the time. So we're working on that. It is hard leaving. Like I went to San Luis Obispo this past weekend for a friend's birthday, and I was gone for 2 nights, and I missed them so much. And it's so hard for me to sleep when I'm gone from them. Like it is so bizarre. Andrew and I went to Palm Springs for 1 night for our anniversary, and I could not sleep. Not that I'm like worried about them, but I think it's just weird not being with them, and I don't know. So that's really hard, and you just miss them. It's so strange too, because it's like you're with them all day and you are getting so annoyed of them, and you're so sick of them, and you're like, why do you like me so much? Like, leave me alone. And then you leave and you're like, I miss them so much. So I don't even understand. It's the weirdest thing ever, and it's so bizarre. But I'm sure you guys all know what I'm talking about. So for their personalities, June is definitely more of the, I don't know how to explain it, more reserved one, which is so crazy because she used to be like the Spitfire, and now that's Violet. But June is quieter. She does things by herself. Like she doesn't need much help. She is very determined. She has a super sweet side to her. So like if Violet wants June's toy really bad, June will just give it to her. Like June will give her all her animals, like take them, and then June will go play with something else. Like she's just so sweet. But at the same time, she has like this rough side to her. And if she gets in like this mood, she just wants to tackle you, and she'll chase Violet around, like pull Violet to the ground, and like nothing phases her. Like she could trip and fall on her face and you would not even know it, because she like won't even cry. Sometimes I'll catch her falling and she just stays there and like kind of looks around and then like gets up like nothing happened. Violet, on the other hand, is very emotional, very needy, very loud, like likes to be the center of attention. When she does something, she wants recognition for it, and she'll look at you like, do you see what I just did? She is very stubborn. Like if she's trying to climb up something, before she even tries, she's like, like help me. You know, like she just leans on you a lot. Whereas June will kind of just do it and figure it out. But Violet is very cuddly. Like she'll just come up to you and just give you a hug and kiss and just like lay with you, where June isn't cuddly like that. Violet wants hugs all day long. Like she always is asking for a hug. She goes hug. When we go to the park, Violet will just run right away and take off to the slide, climb up the playground. And then June will want to hold my hand the whole time. So she'll just walk along my side and hold my hand, or sometimes I'll have to hold her. Like, she gets a little nervous in public, and it's just super cute. And it's really cool to see the two of them balance each other out. Like, they really go together so well. The next question is, do you have a parenting philosophy? I don't know how to say this and not make it sound like bad. But again, I don't know if it's because I have 2 babies, but I just don't, like, that thought has never even crossed my mind. I don't know. I just feel like after I had the girls, like, they've made my brain mush. Please tell me some of you have felt the same way, because I just feel like there's all these little things that I can't even think about. Like, I'm trying to just get through the day and get, like, my to-do list done. So to think that, like, broad, I just can't. It hurts me in ways because I feel like after having the girls, I feel like I've been not as good of a friend, because my spare time, I'm not reaching out to them, seeing how they're doing. My spare time is working. My spare time is cleaning. So it's like I'm in my own bubble all day long, every day. So it's just like, it's a bizarre feeling. Also, since it's 2, I feel like it kind of limits some of the things that we can do with just me. If it's just me taking them places, because right now, like, if I take them out of the stroller, they are running in opposite directions. So, like, one of my friends has been wanting to go to the zoo with me, and I just, like, honestly can't think about how that would work with just me watching them. It just seems like really, really stressful and, like, not safe. I don't know. In that sense, it does make you feel like you're in this lane, like if you have twins, and everybody else over here is just, like, going fast by you. Like, they're doing all these things, like, they're doing workout classes with their kids, they're doing art class, they're doing music class, and I'm over here like, I don't know. Like, that is how I feel a lot of the time. Obviously, it's awesome, and I would never not want to have twins. Like, I feel so fortunate that I have them, but that is, like, a big thing that I felt for a while. Like, you just feel like you're in your own world. Okay, when we travel with them, where do they sleep? We bring pack and plays. One's Nuna and one's Baby Bjorn. We take their teddy bears, we take their blankets, we take everything the same. So we take our sound machine. I did a blog post all on travel. I think I already said that, but I will link that down below. How do you teach them new words? They know so many words. Again, just repeating myself over and over to them whenever I see something. Like, if I were to watch myself, if I was an outsider watching myself, I would probably think I was so annoying, because I'm just talking to them all the time. And I didn't realize it until 2 of my friends told me. They're like, you're, like, talking to them a lot. I'm like, I know, I talk to them all the time. And I think that's why by the end of the day, I'm, like, exhausted, because I don't realize, like, I'm just talking nonstop. For instance, like, we go outside. I'm pointing to everything. Tree, look at the tree. Where's the water? Where's the rock? Where, like, asking them a million questions. But they like that. Like, they like to be quizzed, I feel like, because sometimes now they'll open a book and they'll, like, look at me and point to things like they want me to answer it. Even if they can't say the word yet, just introducing it to them, they'll have it stored in there for later. Okay, a night and nap routine. So, do you give them bottle or rock them for bed? No, I've never rocked our girls to sleep. We sleep train them at 4 months. I have a blog post. I have a YouTube video all on that. I'll link those down below too. I'm gonna have a million links in this video. We let them kind of soothe themselves to sleep. In the beginning, they would cry a little bit when we sleep train them, but now they're amazing sleepers. They fall asleep probably within, like, 10 minutes. They kind of talk a little bit, toss and turn a little bit, sing or whatever, and then eventually they're out. They sleep for their naps. Usually 3 hours is kind of the norm now. I put them to bed around between 12 and 1. It just depends on what we've done that day, how tired they are. And for nighttime, they go to bed usually 7:30 to 8. They were going to bed at 8, and I kind of was realizing even if we put them to bed later at 8, they were still waking up at the same time. And they wake up in the morning around 6:30, sometimes 7, Today was 6:15. I still am waking up at 5:40 and I do my yoga. I get my coffee going, which I didn't get today because my freaking juice cleansed. But if you guys have bad sleepers, highly consider sleep training because it was the best thing that we ever did. It was the hardest thing we ever did, like excruciatingly hard, emotionally draining, but it lasted a couple days and then it was good. And you have to kind of repeat like little things that you do every now and then, like when they're teething. But I use Sleep Sense, the program. I just used the ebook. That's all I used. And it was like my Bible. Like I lived by that for a while. How did you decide which one would be June and which would be Violet? Okay, that's super funny because when they were in my stomach, one moved a lot, like all the time. And I was like, you know what? I think that's June. As they were kind of moving, like, because I had to go to the doctor all the time because it was a high risk pregnancy because they shared a placenta. So I would always be like, okay, where's baby B? Like, where is she at? Because I need to make sure I know where June is. So when they were born, I knew it was like baby A and baby B. Baby A was Violet, baby B was June. I just knew the order that they were born. That's who was who. The next question is, how do you keep your mental self sane? Coffee is good. Running is really good. My mornings and my nights are my time to just recharge. So when I wake up in the morning and I do my yoga and I have my coffee, like that is my me time and I love it. I look forward to it. And then at night, now what I've been doing when the girls go to bed is I just kind of like, I'll hang out with Andrew for a little bit because obviously I haven't seen him all day. But lately I've been like doing a face mask and taking a little bit of extra time to do my skincare. And I'll listen to a podcast while I do that. And it unwinds me for the day. And it feels like I'm like gaining something out of it. Like I'm giving myself some pampering. And it feels like special. So, and it doesn't have to be a ton of time. I still go to bed at like 10. So just maybe I kind of come back into our room a little bit earlier and just, you know, put my body lotion on and just like, I don't rush at night. I just kind of take my time and just enjoy my self-care, I guess you could say. Tips for entertaining them when they just start learning to use their hands. My girls are just now starting to learn to reach and attempt to grab things, but I don't know what kind of toys to get. Yeah, I remember that time kind of. I think we had them in their little bouncers a lot and they had like this little bar that they would kind of hit and swat. We had a mat with a couple different things that would hang over it that they could kind of grab too, and I would just spread toys out all around the ground. I would suggest maybe going back to my day in the life videos and watching some of those or watching my twin update videos because I know it sounds bad, but I like can't really remember. But in those videos, I probably talk about it. How did you handle soothing them when they were both crying as newborns? Ugh, I was just thinking about this the other day because Andrew and I were like trying to figure out when we want to start trying to have another baby. And I was like having a little moment of panic because I'm thinking back to when they were babies and how intense it was because they cried a lot. Like they had a lot of gas. I don't know. They just had like they cried a lot. All the time. So I was telling Andrew, I was like, oh my gosh, remember when I used to wear one and then I'd hold one? He's like, what? And I realized it was when I was cooking dinner when he was gone. So I would wrap one on my body and that would make them stop crying. They loved to be wrapped. And then I'd hold the other one because they would want to be held. I also highly recommend getting some type of swing, like a vibrating swing. The one we had is recalled now, of course. We had the Fisher-Price soothing lotion. So if they have a new one, get it because it was amazing. It like rocked and it kind of was like a Mamaroo but cheaper. That was a lifesaver and swaddling them was life-changing. They loved to be wrapped tight. They liked the little wubba nubs and also music, like playing lullabies, nursery rhymes, classical music, just Taylor Swift. That even worked. What is a place you would love to travel with them? And they said, when are you going on your first flight? I flew with them and my parents to Nashville and it was awful. They were so bad. And then I look at people and they're like, oh, we had the best flight ever. Our babies are perfect. I'm just like, what? I'm not really wanting to fly with them anytime soon. Like, I want to wait till they're after 2 to fly because they're full of energy, you know, like they love to just be running around and playing and singing and dancing. So a flight for them is not their ideal situation. But if like, take that out of the picture, if I could go anywhere, I do really want to take them to Italy. I've always wanted to go there. Andrew wants to go there. I want, you know where I really want to go is like Santorini. Oh my God. We also really want to go to Alani because they love Moana. So we'll see. What can I do now that I'm prepared when my twins arrive? I would say just enjoy your alone time. I know like anything that you hear is just hard to even take in, but that's what one of my friends told me. She's like, enjoy your alone time. And I was like, no, I just want them out. But seriously, like they're gonna come out soon enough. Enjoy your quiet time, enjoy your mornings, and also just know that every month it gets easier. Another question I got asked a lot is what was my favorite stage? What was the hardest stage? The hardest stage was definitely newborn. 1 to 4 months for us was pretty hard. And then they started teething really, really bad after they had turned a year. They were kind of late on their teeth. So when was that? When they were like 13 months maybe? Like that was pretty hard. They were really, really fussy and crying a lot. And they couldn't like fully tell me what they wanted. Definitely now is the best. Like they can tell me exactly what they want. They are so much fun. They are so entertaining. Like they literally make us laugh every single day. And it's so cool to see them learning everything. Like I love them being able to communicate with us and just seeing them pick up things. It's really awesome. I do think it gets better every month, but there's different things that are hard. Like teething is always hard and that just kind of comes and goes. You know, when they can start standing up, then they start to fall a lot. And then once they're walking, you're like always worried about them falling. But now that they're like running, it's nice that I don't have to worry about that as much. Like now they're just stable and they're like kids. Like it's so crazy. Another question was, do they fight over toys or bite? They've never bit each other, but they do fight over toys. Like I said though, June usually gives in and gives whatever it is to Violet. But they went through a phase where they were fighting over a lot of things, but now they know what share means and they just know that they're supposed to share. So they don't really fight over stuff anymore because we'll tell them like share with your sister or give it back. And they just know. Next question is, what do I look forward to as the girls grow up? I'm excited to see like their interests, like what they're wanting to do as far as sports or if they want to do dance. And also just seeing the bond that they have grow just because it's so apparent now and they're so young. So to see them just become really close, I mean, I hope. I'm just really excited for that. And also when we have more kids to see kind of the dynamic between all of them, I think that'll be really cool. Are we going to put the girls at the same school? If not, do you want them to be in different classes? Yeah, we're gonna have them in the same school. That is something I'm wondering what to do as far as putting them in the same class or not. I've heard both things. I know it's a lot harder on the mom when they're in 2 classes because you have 2 sets of schoolwork, but I have heard that it's really beneficial for them to be in separate classes because they get their own identity. They can just be their own person and kind of create their own friends in their class. And I think that would be the best. So if you guys have twins and they're older, let me know what you did, what you liked. I've also heard from a friend who's a twin. They were in elementary school together and then it got to a point, I think 5th or 6th grade, and they asked to be in separate classes because they kind of wanted their own identity. And especially like our girls look so much alike, nobody can tell them apart. So I feel like it'd get annoying having their teacher like, or just anybody not knowing which one they were. So I am leaning towards separating them. Maybe I'd have them in the same class like in the very like early years, but I think long term it'd be better for them to be in their own class. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this Q&A. I feel like we talked about a lot. But if you guys want to see these more often, like once a month, let me know and I can do that. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for spending some time with me and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Yeah, go give it to the baby. She's cold. Cold.
Cold.
That's nice. Now feed her the bottle. Can the baby have some? Are you gonna take all the milk? Oh, the car needs milk? Milk, yeah.
What
What are you making? Are you cooking? Oh, cooking food? Give her a kiss. Give her a kiss. Give her a kiss. Hey, she's trying to give you a kiss. She's trying to give you a kiss, Violet. Oh my God, June. Can you put some makeup on Kyla? She really needs it. That's good. That was nice. She wants a drink. I don't think she wants any. Holding hands. What's so funny? Ah! Hey! Get out of here! Hey! Get out of here! Say hi!
Hi.
Say hi!
Hi. Heidi.
Hi there!
Heidi!
Dada.
Heidi! Heidi!
Hi! Hi! What's your name?
You.
Yes.
You.
What's your sister's name?
Sissy.
What's her name?
Paper.
Violet.
Sister.
Oh.